tweet. Have you watched the video, which is addressed to me? It's clearly written by ChatGPT, which is actually disturbing because you imagine this is a guy who's in his college dorm room telling Grok or Claude or ChatGPT, write a script condemning Nick Fuentes about voting Democrat. And you want to know how you know it's written by ChatGPT? It's obvious. It's because every other sentence is not this, but this. Not voting Democrat despite the Republicans, but building something lasting for our children. Not trolling and being silly and unserious, but being responsible and building something that will, it's like, and I'm not even exaggerating, watch the video. Literally every other sentence is that. Every other sentence is an M dash. Not trolling and being an immature little Groyper, but being a principled conservative. Not voting to burn it all.
Oh boy, my oh my, what have I gotten myself into? We're going to be reacting to Nick Fuentes, ladies and gents, as he responds to Brilyn Hollyhand's AI-inspired call-out. Nick Fuentes is, of course, gotten a lot of notoriety, famous guy now, for his very explicit way of thinking. If you actually take a moment to listen to what he says, some things are very much accurate. Some things are pretty wild, to be honest. But this is America, and it is a free country. You don't have to listen to him if you don't want to. But at the end of the day, I got sent this video, so we're going to react to what he had to say, about this particular case. I don't know who Brilyn Hollyhand is, Nick Fuentes, but I don't understand what is going on really. So I guess we'll give this a shot and see how it goes. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want more. Let's go.
With that, we're going to dive into the show. Before I get into the news, did you see Brilyn Hollyhand calling me out earlier tonight? And I tweeted at him right before I went live. This guy has been really on my case. I don't know what his problem is. I don't even really talk about him that much. Other people do. Other people attack him pretty frequently on Twitter. And I don't really care about him. I don't really see him as a person. I don't really know what's going on there. When I see Brilyn Hollyhand's face, I just sort of think this is how the Jews see all of us. When they call us goy, that is what they have in mind. That is the mental image. That's the dictionary definition photo of a goy. That's someone looks at Brilyn Hollyhand, a Jew looks at Brilyn Hollyhand and says, that guy's going to flip the lights on and off for us on Saturday. That guy's going to tape the refrigerator light bulb off. You know how that works? So we can open the refrigerator on Shabbos. Like, I'm sort of getting it. And so I saw this on Twitter. He calls me out and he goes, people that are telling you to stay home in the midterms, they just want to destroy everything. Why don't you try to build something and be responsible? We're not going to win by being trolls. And you know what I noticed about the video if you watch it? So this is actually my most recent reply. If you go on Twitter and you check my replies, this is my most recent tweet. Have you watched the video, which is addressed to me? It's clearly written by ChatGPT, wow, which is actually disturbing because you imagine this is a guy who's in his college dorm room telling Grok or Claude or ChatGPT, write a script condemning Nick Fuentes about voting Democrat. And you want to know how you know it's written by ChatGPT? It's obvious. It's because every other sentence is not this, but this. Not voting Democrat despite the Republicans, but building something lasting for our children. Not trolling and being silly and unserious, but being responsible and building something that will, it's like, and I'm not even exaggerating, watch the video. Literally every other sentence is that. Every other sentence is an M dash. Not trolling and being an immature little Groyper, but being a principled conservative. Not voting to burn it all down, but voting for jobs. It's like, who are you? Are you like 18 years old?
He's a robot.
And I said it the other night, I was really getting into this Democrat thing. It's like my new favorite thing. I just knew I had to do it. I just knew I had to go all the way this year. When I thought about this idea, I didn't think about it fully, at least initially. I think I just kind of said it on the show one night. But the more that I think about it, the more that I love it. The more that I monologue about it, the more that I know this is the right thing to do. I just fell in love with this idea. And I said the other night, I was ranting about it basically the entire show for like 90 minutes. And at the end of the show, I said, I will just never be this principled, conservative, Republican, GOP apparatchik. I just don't understand how anybody would want to grow up and be that guy. It's so bad. It's so worse than anybody even knows, than anybody even realizes, even me for that matter. I get some of the inside baseball, and every time I go to Washington, every time I talk to anybody from Washington, they all tell me it's actually worse. They watch the show. They follow me on Twitter. They're about it. They're Groypers. And they know how I feel. And as you know, I feel very strongly. And the people that are actually in there, in the administration, going to work every single day in DHS or the Pentagon or State Department or the White House, Treasury, whatever. We have people everywhere. They're literally everywhere. They will all, literally to a man, they all say, no, it's so much worse. So much worse than you even know. The personnel, the corruption, the level of not giving an F about delivering on things like mass deportations or no new wars. They all say that. And I just can't get behind. I can't wrap my head around the psychology of anybody, but especially a young person going to the mat for this every single day. So I genuinely don't understand it. All I could reply is like, you're just a subhuman. You're literally subhuman. I don't know what the fuck you are, but you are not a human being. You're some 18-year-old white college kid, and you're doing these like ChatGPT pro-Republican videos for boomers. If that were me, I would want to kill myself. And not to be, I know that's not like a very Christian thing to say, but seriously, exactly. If I had my like Alabama University polo shirt on, and I had my like ghostwritten book about like being conservative or whatever on a shelf behind me, and I was doing Fox and Friends on Jesse Waters' show for baby boomers. I'm going to like the villages in Florida to give a talk about voting Republican, and you're 18 years old. I would just, what kind of life is that? Who would want to live that life? Who would choose that over it? You could be anything. You have free will, okay? It's like a video game. You can do whatever you want. You could be at Hustlers University. You could be in the real world. You could be like Andrew Tate. You could be one of these people that's like drop shipping. You could be one of these people that's pimping OnlyFans girls. You could be trying to trade shit coins or stocks, or you could do a ChatGPT wrapper and make an AI business. Like you could literally do anything. You could be a Groyper. You could work for James Fishback. And you chose to be like, he's making tweets about Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh? Didn't he die before you were even alive? Like, what are you talking about? Who's doing this?
Rush Limbaugh, a legend of my area in Missouri. He is, of course, born in Cape Girardeau. I'm, more towards the rural area, but still in this area. So he's a great journalist, great pioneer in radio. So, but yeah, he did pass on, a little while ago.
So I had to break the mold because I was clearly maybe trending toward that at one point. Like when I was in high school, maybe I was going in that direction. And then I took a sharp right turn. I took a far right turn in college. But anyway, it's just kind of an interesting foil. He's not really all that interesting as a guy. But it's an interesting foil, the compare and contrast. I don't know where they're making these people. I don't know where a person like that is created, but it's pretty freaky. I don't understand a person like that. I just don't get it. But anyway, that's my most recent engagement. Very strange.
Wow. Well, this guy went off on this Brilyn Hollyhand. Which I'm going to do some digging on this Holly guy and see who he is. because I haven't had a clue. Which I mean, I just did a quickly brief as he was speaking there, and of course this guy is well, he calls himself the internet youngest voice of reason, host of What's Up America, best-selling author here. So on I guess best-selling. Everybody in their profiles put best-selling author. What does that even mean? Everybody's best-selling author, selling books and nobody fails at it. Everybody puts best-selling author, whatever that means. But he says, "I'd rather die whispering Jesus' name than live life screaming my own." Well, I could agree with that, of course. I would agree with that. That Jesus is everything and God is everything. I don't know anything much about this guy. I mean, he seems to be a conservative voice, but he must have called out Fuentes, and Fuentes just decimating him, of course, for some reason, because he called him out on it, and basically using ChatGPT, to call Fuentes out. Fuentes is, listen, I was laughing when he was talking about pimping OnlyFans girls, and I don't even know if that's happening, but if it is, then, obviously that is not funny in itself. But I like Nick Fuentes' straightforwardness on things, and many of the things he says is clearly not what other people want to say or would say for the fear of losing money. And to be fair to Nick Fuentes, he must be an honest guy and really believe things that he says, because I don't think he has any sponsors. I doubt any sponsor would want to give him money, because they would lose clients, of course. Of course, he's on Rumble because he probably knows that on YouTube he'll be taken down immediately and reported and taken down. On Rumble, there is literal freedom of speech, literal, for whatever that means, or for whatever you want to say, you can go there and say it. I don't agree with, obviously, a lot of things that Fuentes is saying. I'm just discovering Fuentes, by the way. So he's a younger guy, younger than me, 5 years. And he is making a name for himself. And if that's the plan, it's working. But I feel like he is honest with himself, and that's really all you can ask from somebody. I think that everybody can take a little bit of honesty like he does. But he goes hard at in certain areas that just make no sense. And I quite heartily disagree with a lot of things he says, of course. But yeah, he's just, I guess, an interesting character, and a lot of people would use that as a not the adequate word for Fuentes, to say the least. But he's got freedom of speech in this country to speak his mind. If he was living in the UK, he would have been arrested a long time ago and put in prison for the way he speaks, which I disagree with 100%. So, he's executing his right to speak his mind for whatever that is. And of course, people that want to watch him. People that don't. I think he gets notoriety because a lot of people don't speak like him. However, I don't know that he will make it big anywhere else, and maybe he doesn't want to, and that's fine, because he does say some things that are inflammatory. But in a lot of ways, people do correlate, people do gravitate, towards him, because he speaks a lot of things that people think and they don't want to say it in fear of losing their jobs, in fear of losing their sponsors, etc. So something to think about, but of course, it is what it is. So let me know what you think in the comment section below on what the situation is. And this Brilyn guy has a good following on X, and a big following on X. And I don't know anything else he's doing, a host of a podcast there. So I don't know. But regardless, yeah, when you call somebody out, it's probably not good to use ChatGPT. No, probably not good. Anyway, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. See you on the next one.